I'm gonna get Ginger some more wine because this is getting good. Look out!
Sasha Belle!
Yeah, okay, thank God you knew who it was. I have to be told. That is a great picture of Sasha Belle.
She's great, though.
Sasha Belle, I feel like you are good friends with her, right?
Yeah! Well, I mean, maybe not now. We're not close now.
Okay.
And not because we're not friends.
Right, but you're separated, you're
we
traveling
totally
a lot.
don't, like we
Yeah.
do our own thing and we go in our own circle. But she is one that I knew for a couple years before through pageantry. And she actually, okay, here's the story that I probably shouldn't tell because I'll probably get sued by World of Wonder.
Keep talking.
She was in the hotel room that was directly next to mine.
Uh-huh.
And it had one of those doors that, like the connecting
right,
doors.
yeah.
So I had no clue if the persons like next to us were part of the production or if they were just regular guests.
Yeah.
So I slipped a note under the door one day that was like, "Are you a cross-dresser? And yes, and if yes, will you open the door?" And I slipped that under the door, and it was like 2 days later, it slipped back under my door that was like, "Yes, I'm nervous, but I'll open the door." I opened the door and I saw her and I was like, "Oh my God, it's you!" Like,
Wow.
I've known you for forever. This is so awesome. So she and I, in a completely non-sexual way, we would just cuddle and watch the Disney Channel.
Wow.
On loop until she left. So when she left season 7, like, it was hard for me. It was really difficult for me because she was someone that I looked up to for a very long time. She's incredible. If you ever get to go see Sasha Belle in just a club situation, she is one of the most energetic, like, fantastic queens you'll ever see. And she has turned into such a fucking piece of trade.
Oh, honey, her body is on point.
On point, yes, God. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
Miss Sasha is getting her man tees on, honey.
Yes, it's so good. But even before that, like, she's a great person, and I love her, and I've always been such a fan. So to sit there and share this experience with her, I thought that Glamazonian Airways was going to be like a triumphant moment for the both of us. I didn't realize she's going to wear a clip in her hair and not be able to get it out, and it would turn into this big thing. I didn't know it was going to turn into such like a disaster. But I tried to keep her with me because I thought that we could go through this together.
Yeah.
And she went home, and I was sad about it for a minute, especially since some partiers moved in next door.
Oh,
and they were there for like a week and a half. And we don't get a whole lot of time to sleep.
Yeah.
When we're doing Drag Race. They kept me up on the few hours that I could, like, I could have slept. It was a disaster.
I am on an unnamed reality competition that is very important.
And my balls hurt because they've been duct taped to my back for the last 6 weeks.
Honey.
No, so I actually really love Sasha Belle. I think she gets kind of a bad rep because people...
You just didn't get a chance to really know her.
They judge her from 2 episodes of a competition, and they go, "Oh, well, she's this and she's that." No, she's actually kind of an incredible entertainer. So if you ever get a chance to go see her and tip her $1, and then try to see her in the alley afterwards because she is like, she's hot.
Get some of that man body on.
That's right, baby.
Look at her.
Alyssa Edwards.
I can't do it. Lady Red
I
Couture?
can't either.
I have my tongue pierced.
I look like a dog with peanut butter on the roof of its mouth.
So Alyssa, you have complicated feelings with Alyssa after All Stars 2, understandably.
I don't have complicated feelings with her after All Stars 2. I have complicated feelings with her because of All Stars 2.
Okay.
And I think those are very different things. I love her, and I've known her for many years because of pageants. And, you know, I got a lot of flack because when I was eliminated, I said, Alyssa and I do the same thing. We do the same thing. We may do it completely differently, but we're both pageant girls.
Right.
And we come from that world. My only issue with Alyssa was that, not that she eliminated me. I didn't give a shit. She could have eliminated me all day long.
Because you wanted to go home at that point.
I wanted to go home. I would have stepped back and said, okay, Katya, you go. I'm going to take one for the team, and I'm going to go home. But it was the way that she did it. Because she would sit with me in the corner and she would say, oh my God, girl, I see the fire in your eyes. I see this, I see that. If I am chosen to win this lip sync, I will choose you to stay. I didn't care if she chose me to stay.
Right.
But if you tell me that and then you don't choose me to stay, but you say it was because literally the opposite of why you said I should, then I'm gonna take an issue with it. Because it diminishes my name and my brand as an entertainer kind of in the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you can come out there and you can say, well, I'm going to eliminate you because of A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. You didn't deserve to be here. You shouldn't have been here. Or I can't eliminate you because Katya's got this crazy fan base. Or what? It doesn't matter. You can have any reason in the world, but be honest with me. But she and I hashed that out. We did it in the van. Right. And over a bag of Doritos.
God bless the van talk.
And we were good. We were good like 10 minutes later when people think it's this like massive travesty. And this is a whole thing together that we still hold to this day. It's not. It's cool.
Y'all are busy. You don't have time for a lot
We're
of fights
busy,
about
and I
stupid
love
shit.
her. And who doesn't love Alyssa? Even if like she pisses you off, you love Alyssa. Because that's just Alyssa.
She's very lovable.
She's very lovable. She's an idiot, but in the best like connotation of that word.
Lady Red was in her Christmas video.
Yeah.
Where she didn't know the words.
Wait, who? Lady Red or Alyssa?
No, Alyssa. It was her video.
Because let me tell you, Alyssa did not know the words to tell it to my heart when she sent me home.
Oh.
Well, apparently you don't have to know every word, and I think that's wonderful. People are growing.
All right, let's move along.
Before we move on, I have to say, like, Alyssa and I are totally cool. Like, people think we must hate each other all day long. We don't. We're totally cool, and we make fun of each other.
Good.
And that's why we're so close.
And you want to tell her to fuck you to the camera just for a good measure?
Oh, and just for a good bumper, Alyssa Edwards, fuck you. I love you.
Look at your drag mother.
Rusty. Tell us
who that is.
That is Rusty Fawcett, who is my drag mother.
Yes.
And let me tell you, like, a lot of people I guarantee you, 99.9% of the people that watch this are not going to know who Rusty Fawcett is. But Rusty Fawcett is the most incredible person I've ever met in my entire life. Orlando is a very trans-centric drag mecca.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, and I love my trans sisters. I do, I absolutely do. But way back before it was cool to kind of intermingle, Rusty became the star of the Parliament House. And you know Parliament.
Oh yes, honey. And let me tell you,
it's
it
a
is
staple.
no joke to become the star of the Parliament House. That is cutthroat. They are ready to slay.
That's the Parliament, the world famous Parliament House Resort and Taco Palace.
I love the fucking Parliament House.
Everybody does. It's
so good.
It's a staple. It's an institution. Like I've been in London and I've been in Singapore. All these places that don't know who I am, but they know what the Parliament House is.
Wow.
I mean, it is a world famous staple. And she was able to go in there as herself, as 100% boy, and become the star attraction for many, many years. She was the first Miss Florida, the first Miss Florida America, the first Miss Orlando, the first Miss Florida Continental, the first Miss Florida everything. Rusty was it. And as she got older, I mean, she looked like Farrah Fawcett. That's where the Fawcett came from.
Oh.
And as she got older, she developed diabetes and she started to gain weight and she had to completely reinvent herself because her entire shtick was based on, look at me, I look like Farrah Fawcett. I'm thin, I'm beautiful, I'm in a red swimsuit and beautiful blonde hair that blows back. And she had to kind of find a new shtick for herself. And she was the Madonna of Orlando drag. She would reinvent herself every single time, and it would be better than the previous version.
Wow.
So when I started to do drag, we actually, I got into drag because of theater. I was eventually cast in this original play at the Orlando Fringe Festival called Boys, 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 which was based on an actual bar in New York City from the 70s called Boys, Boys, Boys. And it was this weird, like, Twilight Zone time continuum weird thing where they light a candle and all of a sudden they're reunited with their personas from 20 years previous.
Okay.
So Rusty and I got cast as the same character 20 years apart. And my first day at rehearsal in drag, he was like, "You're fucking terrible. And if you're gonna represent me, we're gonna teach you how to walk in heels. We're gonna teach you how to read a bitch. We're gonna teach you how to do this, that, da, da, da." And he did.
Because that was when you auditioned for that. That was when you had borrowed your grandmama's wig,
Yeah.
your sister's shoes, your friend's
Yeah.
dress. Yeah.
I knew nothing about drag. I knew literally zero about the entire art form.
Wow.
And he's the one that was like, "No, you're not gonna bring dishonor on my name.
Yes.
I want to teach you exactly what to do and how to do it." And he did. And he's still an incredibly, he's given up drag. Like, he's moved on. He's doing his own thing. But he's still my mommy. And he's still so proud of me. And he still is the one person that I can go to. And will be like, "Bitch, you look like shit.
Oh.
You looked terrible. You need to do this, do that, da-da-da-da-da-da. And if you want to say that you're my drag daughter, you better pull it all together or I'm going to cut you out of the will."
I love it. Well, shout out to you, Rusty Fawcett.
Absolutely.
Yes.
First lady of Orlando drag. Always.
Love it.
Always.
Look at her.
Aww.
Miss Violet Chachki.
Violet Shashki. I love Violet.
She's a hoot.
She's funny.
I've been on tour with her with Dida, and like she really cracks me up.
People ask me all the time, "Is Violet really a bitch?" No, she's not a bitch. She's a brat. She is a spoiled brat. Absolutely. She is like, "I'm really sad. I'm mad because my parents bought my sister a house and they only bought me a condo." Mary, like, I'm lucky if my parents buy me time. Like,
Sure.
it's so terrible. I love Violet, though. It wasn't until after the season started airing that we kind of got to talk a little bit more in depth. And once you're removed from the situation of trying to pull each other down so you come out on top.
You both really wanted to win.
Yeah.
Like you both were both in it to win it.
Yeah.
Almost more than anybody else in the competition.
Yeah, and I love her for it. I think she's incredible, and she is truly the future of drag. She is completely, she's the 180 of what I represent, you know? And I love that we're kind of learning from each other, too, as we go on. So she's getting funnier, and maybe I'm getting a little bit prettier. Just a pinch, just a whisper. And she's hysterical. People don't give her enough credit.
She is very funny.
People thought that when they crowned her instead of me that I would be bitter. And you can watch that video when they announce her as the winner. I'm thrilled for her. I'm thrilled because she deserved it, and she was a fabulous contender, and she's a fabulous person, and I really, really, really just think the world of her. And I wish that we had more opportunities to kind of play together, but we don't. I mean, we run into completely opposite circles. But I love her, and I think she's a cunt. And I think that she smells like a dirty foot.
Oh. Oh, my.
She is the first person that will admit it, though. She's like, I'm sorry. I was too busy doing this. I was too busy doing that. I'm wearing rubber. What do you want me to smell like?
Honey.
We'll wear breathable fabric once in a while, gal. But she's fabulous.
All right.
really
Shout
love
out. If
her.
you want to see me and Violet, we're on tour together with Dida Fontees in September.
That's right.
Look at her.
Pearl!
Pearl.
Not a lot of people know this, but Pearl and I actually share the same birthday. We're both 9/11.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, my father was right when he called me a national tragedy. Yeah. Maybe not put that in there. So Pearl and I are both Virgos. We have the same birthday, and we share a lot of the same traits. We may be opposite people, but we certainly kind of operate on the same playing field. And I love her. She is somebody who she's a lot like me in the sense that a lot of things have happened to Pearl. God, why am I getting emotional talking about another girl? A lot of things have happened to her, and she's a great person. And a lot of times when things happen to us, we don't initially understand how to handle them. We don't understand that the things that kind of stand in our way are what are going to make us stronger as people as we get older. And I have nothing but respect for her because she's been through as much as I have. And she's a great, great person. And it bothers me to this day that I acted the way that I did in that last episode before the top 3. I love her more than she'll probably ever know. And I understand her more than I think she'll ever admit. Bring me one, it's fine.
Here you go, sweetie.
Thank you. All I have to say is I get it. And I'm embarrassed about how I treated her because I never should have done that because I understood going into that final challenge who she was and where she came from. All I can say is I'm sorry. And I love Pearl. I love Pearl more than most people in the world.
Wow.
Oh, God. She's a good person. She's a very good person. And my least proud moment in my entire life was throwing her under the bus because I never meant to do it. I didn't understand what I was doing when I did it until I saw it play out, and I that's not me.
And have you ever talked to her about that since?
She and I are cool.
Yeah.
We've talked about it. We talked about it that day, and we hammered it out, and we figured it out, and we made amends, but it's never been the same.
Right.
And that will always bother me because I do love her. God.
Will
I
it
love
make
her a
you-
lot.
Make you feel better to give her the finger to the camera?
Pearl, fuck you.
That's very sweet. I don't think that's anything any of us really know, the kind of that connection between you and Pearl even existed.
She was my baby. They never showed it, but she used to crawl up on my lap in every
Really?
Untucked. And I would just sit there and play with her hair.
Oh.
And she would sit there and just talk. We just talked about everything. And I understand it doesn't serve the narrative,
Right.
the story that they're trying to tell. But I think the reason that it didn't bother me in the moment that I threw her under the bus, so to speak. For the record, let me say, they're very adamant about, please follow our rules. Please, listen to the parameters of every challenge and respond to them that way.
Right.
So they didn't say, why should you win? They said, why should you and not your competitors win? So being a pageant girl, I sat there in my head and went, all right, what are the reasons? What are the blatant examples of why the other 3 should not win? What are those that I can talk about? And the only thing in my head was that Pearl was ready to go. not thinking past that, not thinking past the fact that, all right, she was ready to leave, so obviously it doesn't matter. Not thinking like what went into her decision to try to leave. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it wasn't until she kind of brought up that there was more beneath it and more like to that decision that it clicked in my head like, oh my God, why are you such an idiot? Why are you taking things at face value and throwing them out there when you know that there's some underlying issue that is hurtful and it's really, really, really just kind of a painful situation. So it wasn't until I saw the hurt in her eyes that I went, fuck, I need to go back and fix this.
Wow.
And a lot of people thought that I was just trying to be wishy-washy and I was trying to save my ass. I didn't care at that point. I just wanted to save the relationship that I had with her because I genuinely love and respect her so much. So much. She's a better person than most people know.
Wow. Well, I hope you were watching this, Pearl. This is a very sweet show of emotion that I think will maybe open up those lines of friendship again, sweetie.
It's never been the same, but it's never been bad. And I love her no matter what. I really do. I really, truly do.
Hey, 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 Qween.